on the spot, at the spot.
The spot, SoDo.
With the big homie Nick, we at the spot.
SoDo.
We at the spot, SoDo.
Spot SoDo.
On the spot, at the spot, SoDo, Seattle.
Man, pull out your blunt, grab your drink, get your notepad. Cause it's a lot of games. Man, you know, we over here back on the spot, at the spot, man, you know what I'm saying, with Dwann B, Kraig Facts, you feel me, man, Hotepish, you feel me? Hey, man, incense and fuck.
And ashtray.
Man, see,
yeah,
man, I see what the weed do you, man.
That's
you
the weed do. I don't blame you. I almost forgot my own show name.
Man, we sitting here.
I don't know what the hell. This that Seattle weed. Y'all, this is what weed tastes like when it rain year round, huh? Some good ass weed. God damn.
They taxing for it now. Ain't that a bitch?
Oh yeah.
That shit, man. Ain't that a bitch, though? Yeah, man, we sit here, man, just chopping about, man, them good old days, man, back in L.A., Martin Luther King parades and shit like that, man. You feel me?
Man. Cause we were just talking about like how like you would just see random shit growing up in L.A. Like I remember when I was like 9, we was riding our bike. When our friends came down and was like, hey, I think Ice Cube is down on Crenshaw. Let's go. So we get on our bikes. We go down Rodeo Road. You know, it's called Obama now.
Yeah,
Obama.
Nigga,
you from L.A., nigga. That's Rodeo Road.
/ Rodeo.
Yeah, here, / Rodeo. Well, anyway, we go down there, and it was that day they filmed that scene when Ferris like bumped Morris Chestnut and was like, "Where you from, Vigor?" That was the weakest comeback line ever. Well, anyway, it was that scene, and we was like there on our bikes, and we was like 9, like, yo, we over there looking for Ice Cube, like, where Ice Cube? We looking for the Jerry curl, you know what I mean?
Real talk.
But by the time that we didn't see that scene get shot because, like I said, it was nighttime by then, so we had to be back home. Mama was like, yeah, get your ass back home, but before the street lights had came on by then, so I had to be back at the house.
Yeah.
But right before the scene happened, when it was still daylight outside, I remember just all of us just looking like, man, so when that scene happened in the movie, we was all like, yo, we was there. You know what I mean? That's just random shit like that would happen growing up in South Central LA, you know?
Boys in the hood, man, menace to society. That shit, man.
You said you had seen what was that video?
Oh, Steady Mobbing.
You got to see the Steady Mobbing video.
Yeah. Walking down 108th. Walking down 100, which is shots out of Century Park Elementary School. I'm going to Unc's house on 105th and Western. And we coming down 108th, man. They filming fucking Steady Mobbing right there.
See,
like, whoa.
Yeah.
They see Cube, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to, I went to, Century Park, right?
Yeah.
So Dr. Dre, godmom, was a teacher there.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of the year, she would always bring him, you know what I'm saying, to the school, and you got to meet him and everything.
Oh,
like
that's what's up.
You feel me? Shouts out to, man, Miss Bolton, you know what I'm saying? Makes you rise in power.
Yeah.
And shit. But yeah, man, you know what I mean? So, LA back then, you got a chance to really reach out. You ran into people, man, and they was friendly.
You did. I remember, like, I used to hoop at Rancho Cienega Park.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah, right there. Right next to Dorsey.
Yeah.
And, like, Byron Scott was on Lakers. You know what I mean? His son played for the same league, like in the same league as us. So we was like 9, 8 years old, and we get to see Byron Scott come and watch us play. So you know how it is when you 8 years old. You got a Laker that get to come in the gym. You try to do a little bit extra with the ball. I try to do a little bit of something razzle-dazzle, then bounce the ball off my ankle. But it's like, man, Byron Scott here, man.
Morningside High School.
Same thing happened. Like, I remember when I was this is when I was like 18. I had knee surgery.
Yeah.
And from a football injury. But I went to Westchester. Our rehab was at this in Manhattan Beach.
Okay.
And we would use a Spectrum Club. Spectrum Club is that fancy gym in the Sports Club LA now, but that's where all the rich people go and play basketball, especially back then. So I'm in knee rehab, and I finally get clearance to play basketball. And the day I got clearance, guess who's playing basketball?
Man, Magic
Johnson.
Little mamas.
This is, Magic old, retired by now, but it's like 99. He still got a little bit.
He
was just playing
at UCLA too.
Yeah, so he hadn't stopped playing ball yet. So Magic's, he can't play in the NBA anymore, but he's still Magic to you. And so I'm like, man, I'm getting to play with him. And Magic picked me to be on his squad. He like, yeah, you big man. Yeah, I got you on the squad. Yeah.
So then they got to run ball, man.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I got Magic. I'm over here nervous.
Don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, so I'm getting the ball, and I'm just sitting there, man, shooting is my game, you know what I mean? And posting up. I'm not going to post up with Magic on the court. I want to see Magic get to do all this.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the corner like, okay, and Magic going to pass me the ball one of these times. And Magic come down one of these plays. He do something. He do one of those where he looks this way, throws back that way to me. Perfect pass, too. He right here.
Tell me you, man, didn't miss it.
I'm left-handed, you know?
Oh, okay.
Straight as an arrow. Fell about a foot short.
He was looking at you crazy.
Man, I'm like,
Hey,
what can you do when Magic...
He gave you the assist, man.
Damn.
And I felt like, you know what? Magic's the all-time greatest assist man, and I fucked off one of his... I know this ain't the NBA, but this is Spectrum Club.
Yeah.
But Magic got one less assist because I airballed a shot. But I was nervous as fuck. Because what do you do when you catch a pass from Magic?
Magic, yeah.
What do you, like, if you've been doing it for a while, whatever. But I'm 18. Magic, my favorite. I grew up. Magic
Johnson.
You grew up in L.A., Magic.
Come on, man.
That's next to God.
Listen, man. I remember going up to the Forum Club, and they used to let us in. They used to let the little youngsters, man, that would be around, man, y'all come on in.
Yeah.
We going in there, we just watch the basketball game from the tunnel. I swear to God, man.
Yeah,
Shouts out to Dr. Jerry Buss, for real.
Yeah, Jerry Buss was a real one.
Man, for real. Hey,
People don't know.
Hey, I got street stories about
yeah?
Yeah, man. We talk about that off camera, man. But I got street stories about Dr. Jerry. Everything. Hey, that show, Showtime?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For real. You wanna know, I give you hidden fact. Fuck it. That nigga love black women. Love them.
Yeah.
Bullshit you not.
I can see that. Why wouldn't he?
I promise you. Love black women. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to all my sisters out there. That nigga, if you was around right now, all these traps out here, all of you just hit y'all have been fucking with Buss back then.
Man.
Buss wasn't bullshit.
Jerry Buss, like, you would hear stories about him around town, you know what I mean?
Man.
I had a homeboy who used to be an assistant coach of the Lakers. I ain't gonna say his name. But, Lakers are a very mom and pop organization. You know what I mean? They weren't corporate at all.
Exactly.
And he was a coach with them, and he had done some training work, and he hadn't gotten paid. He hadn't gotten paid in a while. So one day we sitting at the house, we just playing PlayStation. He get a call. And it's from Jerry Buss. And Jerry Buss like, hey man, how things going, man? I ain't seen you around here in a while. Just checking in on him. He was like, hey, Mitch ain't paid me yet. And Jerry was like, what? Man, come here. And he meet me, boom, 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 boom. And he like, I gotta go. And he's like, I gotta go meet Jerry Buss. And I'm like, man, this dude is he must, I never met him myself. I'm like, man, he must be a real one because this is a low level, as far as, he's a good guy, but as far as rank in the organization, he's just a replaceable person.
Yeah.
And Jerry Buss calling him like, what's up? I'm like, man, he must have really been a real one.
Listen. Man, hopefully I get him on the podcast one day, man. But I'm going to say one of my homies, man, if you watch the podcast, you know what I'm talking about. We sitting on it, man, singing, tell me, I fuck with Dr. Jerry Buss. Of course, we do the typical nigga shit.
Man, nigga, please. You bullshit.
Nigga, whatever, man. And they tell us, yeah, okay, boom.
Fibbing.
Next day, he tell us again, man, I fuck with Jerry Buss. Man, you bullshitting. Third day, why this nigga pull out a photo album? Why this motherfucker's all in Paris, France, and England, and everything like this. Said, nigga, he said, now that you believe me, I'm gonna take you to introduce you to him.
Yeah.
I'll push you to the left.
Man.
This was a hood dude, like a real hood dude around there, you know what I mean? Like, doing great, writing books now and everything like that, man. And that's why I say I won't say his name or nothing like that, but yeah, man, good brother, man. He took me to meet him, man, kept it real. But we moving in the streets at the time, nigga, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like, yeah, okay. And then pulled out the photo album. I'm talking about I'm like, man, nigga be like, okay, you need a hug or picture.
Yeah.
This nigga's all in overseas in Europe with this motherfucker. I'm like,
damn.
whoa. Like, this nigga really fuck with him.
Man.
And then he the one that told me, man, and I said, man, he like, yeah, man, Jerry Buss love black women.
And that Forum Club was a shit.
Man.
I had it when I was in middle school. I had this white boy, I was real cool with back in like 7th grade. And his mom worked at the Forum. So we used to get, like, when we go to Laker games, we used to have courtside seats. But this was that year. This is like when Nick Van Exel was a rookie.
Yeah.
Them years. And so when you got courtside seats, you got access to the Forum Club. And I remember, and I went like a couple times to games, and I just remember talking to James Worthy from sitting there while they shooting free throws. What's up, James? And they be nice to the little kids and everything like that. You know what I mean? And I remember going to the Forum Club and seeing like Arsenio Hall, Jack Nicholson, what's her name? That chick that went at Mike Tyson. What's her name?
Holly Robinson.
I think it was her. That wasn't her. It was the other one.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It
don't even matter.
Worth mentioning.
It don't even matter. But it was just looking like, man, this is some real stuff. So now when I'm watching Winning Time, it's bringing back memories, man. We had like LA is just dope to grow up in the 80s and the 90s.
Man. That shit, man. Come on, fam.
Because we all know about the stories of the violence, but that ain't the only story.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, like good times, like seeing certain things, like, you know what I mean? It was just dope growing up. When you're in an environment where it's sunny year round, it's a lot of good stories to be had.
Well, man, shit, man. First Laker I met was Michael Cooper.
Oh, Michael Cooper?
He was signing autographs and everything, and man, at the Vons, man, you know what I'm saying, supermarket and shit, man. You know what I mean? For real.
I remember seeing Vlade Divac at he was on autographs at the Broadway in the Fox Hills Mall.
Oh, Vlade.
Yeah.
Well, you know, shit, man, I went to Morningside, so, you know, we had Byron Scott, Eldon Campbell, Lisa Leslie, Tina Thompson, and then, excuse me, we had a Stace Bozeman.
Yeah.
And shit like that with All-American and shit, man.
Yep.
Lee Denman, you know, rest in peace, man, rising power to that brother.
Man,
that's
dope.
You know, that's Paul Pearson. That's what
Yeah.
Paul Pierce was at Inglewood. I want to say Jason Hart.
Y'all had
what's my guy's name, man? He was sent him on one of them Catholic schools and shit. He played ball, man. Kraig just had a function with him.
Oh,
Baron Davis.
Yeah.
Baron Davis, man. You know what I'm saying? You had the Thompson twins that was at Harvard Westlake. And then Dominguez.
Yeah, Dominguez Tyson.
Jason Thomas.
And I was at Westchester because I was basketball university.
Westchester was
because Crenshaw was a crack in the school in the city back then when Willie West was the coach. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You know we used to beat up on niggas and shit that went to Westchester and that played basketball.
Yes, y'all did. Yes, y'all did.
We wasn't feeling that. Like, we said, I'd be like, hey, my nigga, what school you go to? You go to Westchester? You live over here? You go to Westchester? Oh, you know we gonna be on your head for the rest of the year, man.
And I would tell niggas, because like me, I've always been a cat. I can go everywhere. I never got fucked with. You know what I mean? We be on the bus, but I tell these niggas, man, wherever you go in life, you gotta respect the code and how people dress. That's not just for black folks. That's anywhere you go in the world.
Yeah.
And I tell these Westchester niggas, take that heel figure off, don't wear them J's, and put your chain in your pocket. You don't go around all these lions with a goddamn stake around your neck, nigga.
Then somebody else just said that, hey, look, we had a show, somebody, I think, what I said, Bosco was on it, we was talking. I was like, man, we used to go hit the back, the bus come down, man, you feel me?
Yeah.
Get into Market Street.
Yeah, right there. That Market Street exit on the nigga.
Hold that back door, and come on there, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yak. Next thing you know, this motherfucker walking around in his drawers. But you tell these niggas, and so like me, you know what I mean? I went to Westchester, but I went to Westchester, but I lived over off like Crenshaw and Rodeo. So I catch that bus. I didn't catch it all the time, but when I did, I knew better.
Yeah.
And so I'd be the one sitting on the bus watching this shit go down. And I'm like, they say you see him at school, they look at you like why aren't you helping? I look at you.
I told you. Yep.
Well, you know what it was? Like I just said, man, it always would be like one or two homies that went to Westchester. Uh-huh. So all the niggas that was gangbanging all down at all school and everything like that, they'd get off on Market Street and then, hey, yeah, the one in the black shirt, the one in the gray. Oh, okay, for sure. And we hold that back door and we go ahead and make seats.
You don't understand.
To find out what it is going on that day.
You don't understand. We be telling niggas during second period, don't get on a bus. Like, be somebody new to the school or something like that. Later in the semester, people got it. They understood by then. So y'all get as many victims as second. But that, like, when school from school starting to Christmas, You know, you get new people transferred to the school, new people, and we tell them in the first, second period, don't go home. You on that bus? You on the Manchester bus to La Brea? No, don't go home in that. I hope you got a T-shirt. Really, that's where pro clubs really started to get popular. It wasn't that pro club was the first choice. People would get a pro club to wear when they went around them Inglewood niggas. When all the West Side niggas was going around the East Side niggas, take this polo off, take this heel figure off, and wear on this motherfucking pro club.
Cause that was Mando, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, what size are those, homie? And you hope the nigga had heart. Oh, they're your size. Oh yeah. Man, nigga need to.
Yeah, it's rules like
that shit, man.
It's rules to the game, man.
Fucking man. But then you got the 40 bus. And then the 210. And you got the 210.
Yeah.
Nigga pray. Hey, nigga pray. Nigga used to be like, man, please, God, let me get through this Crenshaw and Slauson, man. None of these niggas just jump all the time. Niggas jump on.
Yeah.
You know what time it is and shit like that, man. Like,
that's why most of the time, it took me 20 minutes longer to get home. It was way easier for me to go Manchester to La Brea, and I can take that right to Rodeo Road and get off and walk down the street. No, I didn't do that. I am taking the Sepulveda bus down to the Fox Hills Mall to Slauson, and then I meet up at the La Brea bus on Slauson and Overhill and take that. I'm going around this. Like, you just, like, I always say, like, people always, like, growing up I got a joke I always say, this really happened when I was in college. When I was in college, I had, you always get that one teacher that want to know more about their students. And I would tell the class, I'm from right here in L.A.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm at Cal State Northridge. They're like, where'd you at? I was raised off, in the Crenshaw district. And one of my teachers, she looked at me, she was like, you made it from, like I made it. She was like, how did you avoid the gangs? She was like, how did you avoid the gangs? I said, kept walking. like these motherfuckers didn't have no outreach and engagement department.
Right.
It's like, niggas, if you was into that, you was into that. But if you was a square, you knew to keep your square ass over here. Mm-hmm. You knew not to wear certain things. You knew not to walk down certain blocks. And for the most part, the gangsters respected the squares. Mm-hmm. It was like, niggas, they act like niggas is monkeys. No, they weren't crazy. Yeah. These motherfuckers ain't about to get 20 years for my square ass and they ain't got no flashy, no fancy clothes on.
Ain't no points. Ain't no points.
So they always talk about cats from the street like as if they just these random weirdos, and they not. It's an environment. Even a motherfucking lion don't go after the strong gazelle. He gonna go after the one that's limping.
Real talk, man.
Don't lip.
The environment, because it's so much, I always say, man, the most talented basketball player is sitting somewhere in the penitentiary, locked up.
Always.
Football.
Always.
Who was that dude from your city?
That was that.
That dude, yeah.
That
they
was
could have went to the league, but
Stace Bozeman.
Yeah.
Every city has
Charles Blakely. Charles Blakely, this shouts out to this brother, man. But it's the truth.
Yeah.
Man, this nigga went to Morningside with me, right? I used to hear, hey, summer league, niggas used to talk about, oh, this nigga's hard. He just came in as a freshman playing hard. They just, man, this nigga get locked up every basketball season. I swear to God, 4 years straight. 4 years fucking straight. I never see, we then got to the, about damn near senior year, man. The niggas told me, hey, don't even bring that nigga name. Nigga, I ain't never seen that nigga do nothing in the fucking during the fucking season, man. You feel me? Nigga be hard though. Nigga come summer league and shit. Oh, that nigga's hard. He's flying in the air.
Yeah. They do that,
man.
Like it would be that. Back in the day, it was a lot of brothers. Your best rapper ain't been seen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's so many. Like, it's so much talent.
Talent, man. Come on.
Because of the environment. Like I was looking, like, cause they put a trick in the deck in the game in the 80s and the 90s when it came to us. We were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Another trick they put in the deck is, like, when you go back and study the history of jazz, what are you talking about? Wayne Shorter, he's getting up there in age, but he's still here on this earth. Wayne Shorter is one of the greatest saxophonists of all time. I remember listening to an interview of his, and it went in alignment with a whole bunch of things that happened back in his day. He did school. But when he did school, the principal would ask, this is back when we had our own schools, where's he going? Well, he was ditching schools to go to the music hall to listen to some music. So instead of calling him, a degenerate like we do our kids sometimes, Instead of calling him a fuck up like we do our kids sometimes, they said, well, if he ditching school for music, let's put a saxophone in his hand and see what he do with it.
Mm-hmm.
The man turned out to be one of the greatest saxophonists of all time. Miles Davis, Bitches Brew, you know what I mean? All kinds of great. Been recording for 70 years. He's in his 80s now. But that's an example of how we used to be as a community, especially when we had our own schools. When our kids would go out and do things that wasn't in alignment with what we wanted them to do, we found out what we was doing and taught them that trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What they was into.
And that's what's missing. And that's why that's what's happening. And in any society, boy, you're going to have a segment of boys that are rambunctious. It's going to be a segment of boys that love to fight. It's going to be a segment of boys that love talking shit and starting shit. There's nothing wrong with that. In a functional society, that's your military. That's your police force. You that kid that like to fight all the time and start shit, you team him and he becomes best buddy with the nerdy kid who can't defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because every genius, every person that has a good business idea still needs some muscle. And that's how a functional society breeds its aggressive kids.
Mm.
Our society, at the age of 14, when you can't think straight, anyway, your cerebral cortex don't come online until you're 24. And if you've been through a lot of trauma, it don't come in line until you're 30. Mm. That's your reasoning center of your brain. What our society do is say, okay, these little niggas, they ain't acting right. They rambunctious. Oh, we got a place for you. Prison. RICO laws. And that's why the imbalance is what we see that it is. Because you fix crime by putting an opportunity in front of that kid. If a kid know he can build a fucking house, what are you gonna rob somebody for?
It came down to, you know what, I thought, to be honest, I thought when the war was over, that was gonna put us economically into a situation, man, with a lot of, you know, guys coming home from the penitentiary or youngsters that wanted to learn construction. That here's the GI Bill. Now these gentlemen want to buy houses.
And we didn't even get houses.
Huh.
Know how that GI Bill, for every time America has a massive economic plan, we're always purposely left out of it. Going back to when FDR did the New Deal. The New Deal is why we got the 8-hour work week. That's why we got Social Security and all that stuff. Do you know the reason why waiters and waitresses and those people and farm workers don't get minimum wage? Because when the United States passed the New Deal, they said, we're going to pass it for every job except for the job that black people do. The black people were the farmers back then. The black people were the waitresses. They said, we don't want to pay these niggas. So that's where tipping comes from. The liberals was like, we got to pay the black people. And the conservatives like, fuck them. They're like, okay, then you pay them. The liberals like, we just doing this shit to look good. We don't really want to pay these niggas. That's why we tip. And people don't, that's the history of tipping. And that's the reason why farm workers and waitresses in certain jobs don't get minimum wage, because they made sure to X out the jobs that black people had a high percentage of jobs in. Those jobs don't get these protections. That's what they did with us. And then you fast forward to the end of World War II, GI Bill was supposed to get you a house, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you in the hood, and my grandfather bought a house over, and he bought a few houses. He talked to me about this. If you in the hood, you get a used house that white folks once lived in. They moved out of. Well, that's if you got a house. That's where, let me back up, the projects.
Okay.
The whole point of the projects is temporary housing. That's why you listen to George Bush lived in the projects in Compton. You know what I mean? Because that was temporary housing if you came home from the war. Well, what happened was the white people who moved into the projects, they were only in the projects long enough for the San Fernando Valley to get built. And for these, what we now call suburban America. The Levittown, it's the Levitt Contracting Company. And they built a lot of your small towns outside of your major cities. And what happened was, they had laws where you couldn't be black and move in those houses. So this is what happened. If you came up from the war and you were black, you moved into the projects. And projects were supposed to be temporary, but they ended up being permanent. And they put lead paint on the walls. They put lead piping in there, knowing that lead, and combined with your trauma from war, can lead to a combustible situation. You know, war is trauma. Combine that with lead paint, lead pipes, you have a combustible situation. They know this. We don't. We think in free housing. White people, what they got was suburban homes. brand new homes at 0 interest, and that came fully furnished. They didn't even have to buy beds and couches. Brand new homes fully furnished at 0%. Look at what happened in LA. Look what happened in Chicago. This was a lawsuit that just got settled recently. You can look it up in this lawsuit that just recently got settled. Black people, on the other hand, when they went to buy these homes in the south side of Chicago, in Miami, in New York, we were getting loans at 20 and 30% interest rate because banks wouldn't lend to us because of their redlining laws. So your grandmama, when they bought that house, they're buying houses at 20, 10, 30% interest rate. Compare that to nowadays, they're saying a 4.29 is high right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the same time, the white veterans got to move into brand new houses that were fully furnished, and these houses cost less than $20,000 at 0% interest rate. Your grandmama either had to move to the projects and stay there with lead paint and lead pipes, or if they got a house at 10, 20, 30% interest rate. And so it's these type things that go on every generation after generation, that take wealth from us, and then it then helps their wealth gain exponentially. And then people say, pull your pants up. Fuck out of my face with that pull your pants up shit. Sag all you goddamn want, nigga. That's the least of our concerns.
Get life insurance.
Get life insurance.
That's I was reading something the other day, and it said there's a reason generational wealth happens with white people, because a lot of them get life insurance. So mom dies, I get $500,000, $250K, whatever. So you're already starting ahead, you know?
But back then they didn't honor black folks' life insurance. They called it just an
They'll say you
example.
died of suicide.
They would always put suicide. For black folk, they put suicide. It doesn't count. It doesn't affect.
It would now, though. They count it.
Well, yeah,
You
now.
can't now.
Yeah, now.
Part of it, because Golden Life Mutual, going back, why didn't I pull that man's name up? Let me get the brother who designed the Baldwin Hills Mall.
Yeah.
We just talking about. He also designed the Nickerson Gardens, and he also designed that Golden State Mutual building on Adams and Western, the first black life insurance company in America.
Yeah, talking serious.
But it's just one of those things where, you see, then you look at what happened to us. Part of the reason why gentrification is going on right now. Look what happened in the 2010s. I was in loans at this point. Countrywide Mortgage, Wells Fargo, Wachovia Bank, Washington Mutual Bank, all these different Bear Stearns. What they were doing was they were having loans that were targeting black borrowers.
Yeah.
Basically, if you missed a payment, or it would be these multipliers way down deep in the paperwork, to where either if you missed a payment or after a certain amount of years, the interest rate would go through the roof and you couldn't afford your house.
Yeah.
It's not paid off, predatory.
Yeah, so the largest settlement in California state history was settled in 2011, giving a lot of black people, settlements, because what these banks were doing were intentionally taking homes. And so what made the hood so ripe for gentrification now is because between 2004 and 2009, they were slowly just snatching homes left and right, 3 and 4 homes on a block at one point, with these loans that are only being targeted to neighborhoods and zip codes where black borrowers are going to go. So people always want to talk about some things in the past. No, Kamala Harris presided over that case. This bitch is vice president right now. So this is new. This is now.
Man, fuck that, bro, man.
A musty bitch.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man. You feel me?
She look like she fucked Frankenstein.
Man, I'm curious to see what she really did at Howard.
Ooh, go and listen to my radio show. I have a brother, Randy Short, who went to Howard with her.
Yeah.
And he talked about her on one of my
Go check it out,
episodes.
man. Randy Short.
Yeah, he was talking because he went to Howard. It's funny, he went to Harvard at the same time Obama was there for his graduate.
Yeah,
he went to Howard
they
at the same
connected.
time. Yeah.
They really connected.
Yeah. But one thing he said on my show was, first of all, she wasn't in the sorority back then. She came back and got that AK, that sorority shit. She got that way later on. They said no, she was the chick that would hang out with the immigrant other blacks too good to hang around the dark skinned blacks. She was in that crowd when she was at Howard. She was in that, School Days talked about her.
Yeah.
School Days talked about
the brown paper bag.
Yeah. School Days talked about her.
Man, you know what I'm saying? With shit, man, you feel me? We gonna take, man, one more, man. We gonna take, man, you feel me? A break on this one and shit like that, man, you feel me? Dwann, man, I got to get my
Yes, sir.
folks in here,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So,
Get
you
them
know
up
what I'm
in here.
saying, man? Because, man, we chopping all this game, man. I know this is a very intelligent brother, man. You feel me? So I know he going to want to talk his shit and, man, spit his pit, man. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, we going to get back at you, man. We over here at the spot, on the spot, man. Go like, comment, subscribe, man. You feel me? Go on here with Dwann B, man. We about to have a special guest pop up, man. All right.